Hello, everybody. My name's Gary. We're going to play some guitar tonight. Sorry, I'm logging in a little bit late tonight. I have no excuse. Just all of a sudden the timing got away on me, and so let me get this posted up on the website pretty quickly here. Website is denverguitarorchestra.com, and we have lots going on over there. So tonight we're going to be playing nothing from Book 1 tonight. Book 1, we wrapped up that series last week, so everybody should be moving up to Book 2 that started a week ago, or 6 weeks ago. And so we're on Book 2 tonight, Clementine and Deo, the Banana Boat song. That's actually kind of a hard song to play. Then Aloha Oe, Amazing Grace, and America the Beautiful out of Book 3. And then we have a Carcassi piece for the classical, and then a new one, a waltz by Zenamon, modern waltz. So Linda's hearing me fine. Sorry I'm running late, Linda, and I'm sure we had a few others along the way. They're like, where the heck? Yeah, well, hopefully they're coming. We never know. But we have some fun music tonight. Let me put this up on Twitter. Oops. It's Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. The only reason I like to put this on Twitter is I'm just so proud of our logo. I'm like, everybody should get a chance to see our logo. Nobody actually reads Twitter, but I put it up there anyway. All right, there's that. So we're done with that. Got it on the website. I'm going to close this box. Vic made it in. Warren is in. Warren has spent a little bit of time with me today. It's exciting to have you so often, Warren. All right. Guitars up and at the ready. Put this on here. Let's see. Playing earlier. I should be in good shape. Beautiful. All right, so first off, let me pull up this list. Again, no Book 1 tonight, so we can just jump into the good stuff. Let's go ahead and grab Clementine and see how that goes. Guitar Book 2, Clementine. Let's play it 3 times through. That's probably plenty. When I was a kid, I think we sang the first 4 verses, and then when I started teaching music, I was teaching at a kids' summer camp, and this little tiny girl came up, and she was just devastated that we didn't have all of the lyrics to Clementine, which I had never heard the last 3 versions of this. Because I just remember her, Clementine, being dead at the end. But it turns out in the final verses, the dad commits suicide, and then she comes back from the dead, sort of, drenched in brine. And then, of course, he kisses her little sister at the end. So apparently they did not feel little kids like us needed to know the true story of Clementine. They just needed us to feel bad that she had... I guess they were using it as a water safety song. Let's see, Warren says, I never seem to be able to catch your live streams, but I do appreciate what you do for all of us. Thanks, Harry. Oh, you're welcome, Warren. I am, well, I'm blessed that I get to do this, right? It's just delightful. Let's grab chords first, make sure we're good on that, just so you know how the song goes. Sometimes people don't know the song. From the top, 1, 2. In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner, 49er, and his daughter Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. So that's how it goes. Okay, let's play the melody from the top. 1, 2. Every one of the E7 turnarounds I blew. All right, so that's how it goes. Lots of 2s, right? You mostly centered around your A chord, and as we are always thinking about playing melody, sometimes we play it positionally, meaning we're thinking about where our index finger is and playing it as a true melody, but a lot of times you're focused around the chord, and in this case so many 2s, right? And that means that probably you're going to be just holding that A chord to get most of your notes as you're playing along this thing. Let's go look at the tough acts from the top. We talked about this last week. Grab your A chord and you'll get most of the notes under your hand. Ready? 1, 2. Top. From the top, one more time. 1, 2. With your pinky up on 5. It's going to come up at the end of a lot of songs. Isn't that pretty? Thanks, Warren. Yeah, I think that the cute part about this is it's usually a silly song, usually a kid's song, right? Bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum. But if you slow it down and really try to get your guitar to just really to do the storytelling, it can be quite sad. It can be quite meaningful and deep. Lovely little melody to it, and the chords, of course, I was fighting them tonight, but they're not terribly difficult. They are level 1 chords, so good introduction into book 2. Let's go grab Deo. Let's talk Deo for a little bit. Deo is a much more difficult song, and so we'll talk about it tonight, and then of course we'll play it next week. But some of you are old enough to remember Harry Belafonte, and it's a little bit shocking to go look at the video of that. He had no shirt on when he sang this song. He's in black and white, and he's very sexy. And I don't know if they should have let him be walking around with no shirt on. So very it's worth a trip down memory lane to go watch the YouTube video of Harry Belafonte singing Deo. This is not Harry Belafonte's version, though, so just be aware that while there are lots of similarities to his version, there's lots of changes here, too. So you want to play what's on the paper, not so much what's in your head here. If you were with us last night in Guitar Orchestra, you heard a lot of people playing Let It Go, or Let It Be, the version that's in their head, not the version that was on the paper. Let's talk about the chords. D chord, Deo, Deo. Daylight come and me, and then your A chord is wanna go home, Deo, Deo, daylight come and me, wanna go home. So notice, and that will I'll mess it up as well as it's easy to mess that one up because everything is a 4-beat measure until you get to measure 8, and then you got to be on it. Same thing happens at 16 and 24. That it'll happen faster than you think that those chord changes happen. Okay, let's play the melody from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinky there. So you're supposed to play it through twice, and probably next week we will play it through twice. The melody, again, is not what Harry Belafonte sings, but it's close, right? And so he wouldn't be surprised to hear this version of the tune. Let's walk through the tough acts very quickly. We'll talk through it, right? Start with your D chord, strum 3, and then strum 2 strings. And then through a full D, and then 2-0-2-4. That's where the pinky is really important. because if you're playing melody only, you probably will play this song mostly in second position. Anytime you see a D chord, there's not going to be very many ones in that song, so it makes sense to play in second position. But when you're playing tough acts here, you are going to be using this D chord, and then when you drop back to the 202, you're going to run out of fingers, so you want to get comfy with using your pinky on all fours. Okay, grab your measure 3, some more D chords, then an A chord finally. And this I just do a little bar. The reason I get away with a little bar there is the next note's a 5, so you can just cover all those 2s, play the whole thing down, and then cover that melody down with a 5. Then go to 5, measure 5. D chords. Okay, sounds really cool with tough acts. Okay, then that's the end of the first idea. Measure 8's the end of the first idea. Now we have a new idea, measure 9, and this is where this doggone pinky comes in. If you can't do that D chord with your pinky up on 5, and you see me, I barely can do it, then go ahead and give yourself permission to switch to your index, middle, don't use your ring finger, and then you can reach the 5 with no problem. Problem is then you've got to get back to a regular D chord, and so you may do this. You may do D chord, and then switch position, and switch back, switch up. Okay, it's more motion, but you can at least do it that way. I always try to just use a regular D chord and then stretch like heck. And this guitar is a tiny bit too big for me, and so you can see when I'm holding my D chord, if this is all the way toward the front of the frets, my pinky just barely can get into the 5th fret. Not good enough where I can pull it off, but it's not easy, it's not great, and then sometimes the tone suffers because I'm stretching so far. When I get serious and I want to play really, really, really high quality music, I use a 7/8 or a par size guitar. I'm trying to get used to this stretch though. Okay, measure 10, you got your regular A7, it's a bar on 2 with your middle finger up on 3. Play a normal A chord here. Measure 11, got some D chords again. Regular A chord at 12. Okay, page 2. The third idea in the song, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. And let's talk about, because there's one fun thing you get to do here. Here's a D chord. Now, and then you're going to raise all the way down, index finger on 10, middle finger on 11, and just hit these 3, right? Probably pluck them, or you can strum them. Right? But this is good practice to get from. You remember row, row, row your boat? That's exactly what you're doing, is bringing those into play. Let's go on to measure 19. Play the idea again. Ready? Go. 21. Chord at 23. Okay. Then next week we'll repeat that song. We'll play the whole thing a second time. When you come in the last time, wanna go home. And there's one more D there. I think probably you do yourself a favor. And then wanna go home. the high D chord on the end. In fact, I will make myself a note that when it comes time to rewrite this, put on it's a 12, 11, 10, 10. is the more fun way to end that song. All right, so this week, I think it was Elizabeth that decided, you know what, I'm going to conquer this thing, and it's definitely. It gives you a different flavor for the guitar that we don't do a ton of. We don't. It's this Jamaican beat, right? If you're singing it, I can't do it because I don't have any Jamaican in me. But trying to get a little bit of a cool beat to it is fun. Let's see. Warren says, "I need to buy the books." No, you don't need. Don't buy the books. He's 94. Is he still alive, Harry Belafonte? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I can do those. I can't do those big finger moves so well. Yeah, and this is ridiculous, right? This is, if you're index, middle, and ring, you can probably do that. As always, if you can't do it, you start dropping lower notes. And so in this case, maybe you switch to index and just middle and just play 2 strings, right? Or at the very least, just get the melody note in and leave it there. But area code 202, I don't know anybody there. I would say long term, you want to be working on that big stretch, especially in fingerstyle. This D chord with that A note is going to come up. Okay, it's going to come up every day you play guitar, it seems like. And so coming up with your best strategy when that happens is the way to go. Yeah, pretty hard. Pretty challenging. All right, give yourself the week to work on that. Let's go take a look at our book 3 stuff. Let's play Aloha Oe tonight. All right. And guys, theoretically, right, as the week goes on, you're like, all right, what am I going to work on today? Well, look at the list on the thing. If it says play, we're going to play it, right? And if it says study, we're going to just go through and talk about everything in it. The stuff you want to be able to play is the stuff from the previous week that was study. Now, Aloha Oe was a play last week, and it's a play this week. So that means, theoretically, that means when you sit down to play your guitar, you're hopefully playing some of the hard stuff that I give you each week that's a little bit beyond your abilities. And then hopefully every time you play guitar, you wrap up with some fun stuff, right? And so when I sit down to do my studies, I got the stuff that was given to me over at the university. Here, you need to study this stuff. And it's okay. It gets more okay over time. But the fun stuff is stuff, that I want to do. And so always make sure to have a few of those in there. But don't neglect your stuff you're really supposed to be doing as well. All right, Aloha Oe. Let's give it a try. It's one time through. Time to practice. Warren, we don't talk about this. We ought to. Finger stretch. You can do this away from your guitar. You don't even have to own a guitar. This one. Okay? When you do this, I can feel the stretching going on right along here. Right? Okay? That's working your thumb. Bend your thumb, spin around. Okay? Don't press against it. Just do some things. Okay? Next one, this guy. Okay? When I'm stretching there, I can feel it right down here in the where the tendons are. Sit and just hold it wide open. Let it happen for a little bit. Okay? Then, Mr. Spock. Okay? Do it this way, and also do it with your open thumbs, right? So that your thumbs can be independent. And notice nothing's going on over my pinky. Despite, after years of study of this exact behavior, my pinky finally stays where it's supposed to be. Okay, but Mr. Spock, and again, I can really feel the stretching going on there. And then the important one, pinky finger. Okay, get your pinky way out, way out. Just let it be out there. Rotate it around a little bit. Make sure your thumb can operate independently while your pinky doesn't go anywhere. I think that that is by far and away the most important stretching that I do when I'm sitting down and trying to get my hands warmed up. Just right, and not real fast. Just open them up and let your tendons be like, okay, I'm going to get used to this. And I think that that's a really helpful thing. Squeeze it, of course, squeeze your hands tight and open them way up. Just make sure you're not pushing against a door jamb or even each other. You can injure your fingers that way, but you just want to stretch them out, get them nice and loose and warmed up, and that's far more effective than just about any other thing you could do, I think, hand-wise. All right, well, first shot, best shot on this. Let's see how we do. Okay, grab your D chords, 3-beat countdown. 1, 2, 3. Measure for some reason. Let's play measure 15. Okay, so I messed that up. Let's play it again from the top. 1, 2, 3. Again, think about your high D there, 10, 10, 11, 12. It's a nice ending to it. Isn't that a pretty song? All right, good. We played that a couple weeks. That's enough. That's enough of Hawaiian music. But pretty tune, right? And another one of those songs we like because you don't have to play it at any particular speed. You don't have to rush. All right, let's go grab Amazing Grace. We talked about this one last week, I believe. And so let's make sure that we can play it. Amazing Grace guitar. All right, C chords, F chords, and G chords, right? These are our least favorite probably on guitar, but they're going to come up. Let's sing it first. Grab your three beats per measure. Grab your C chords. See how fast you can get your Fs on. 1, 2. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. 3, 1, 2. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Okay, so nothing fancy in that except for how fast can you get your F chord on, right? And that is something that's going to come up as part of your life for a while. It took me 2 years of pretty serious study before F chord just started being there, but it's definitely one of those things you want to work on. And this is a good song. It's short, right? And see how fast you can play it and still get your F chord on top. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Right, and see, just practice that to get your F chord on and see if you can get it on and hold it for all 3 beats before moving on to your next chord. All right, let's play the melody. Should be straightforward here. Looks like it's in first position. 1, 2. The guitar is totally dead, right? The guitar is done doing its job after about 5 beats, maybe the 6th beat, but you need to count these long notes in your head, otherwise you come in early. And I try to model it for you all the time, but if you look at measure 7, you have 5 beats, and our tendency is that saved a wretch like me, 2, 3. I once was lost, and that's not right. Okay, so when you see long notes, definitely in your head, I don't want you tapping your foot because that looks like you're in elementary school, which is we probably are on some level. But try not to tap your foot because that just bugs your audience. But in your head, that saved a wretch like me, 2, 3, 1, 2. I once, and so make sure that you count those long notes out. Otherwise, you'll come in early. It's just a part of playing tablature. All right, let's play the tough axe. Let's play it twice. First time through with your claw, second time through with your thumb. From the top, 1, 2. nice, right? I think with that one, because you're using strings north and south quite a bit, you're having to be somewhat mindful about which strings you're picking, and it's a nice challenge there. The other thing you'll notice in measure 15, I went ahead and put in an arpeggio pattern. You just keep holding the chord, and it prevents you from giving up before the game is over, right? Same thing at measure 7 and 8. Go ahead and stick in a few extra just decorative notes so you don't come in early. Okay, let's try it with your thumb from the top. 1, 2. Lovely, right? Vic says Aloha is fun to play. Aloha is fun to play. I think I've been playing it a long time on ukulele, and so so I know how the melody goes, but getting all of the notes the right length in Aloha Oe, I think, is the hard part. I didn't even talk about that, probably. Reading the standard notation, as you guys probably have figured out, the weakness of tablatures, it doesn't tell you how long to hold the notes, and so that's why we always include a standard notation line. And on Aloha Oe, really helpful to go through and read through that. And this song, less so, right? It pretty much goes exactly like you think it would go. So you don't necessarily have to be focused in on how long is this note, how long is that note, but on Aloha Oe for sure. Nice, pretty little tune, right? Let's keep it for one more week. Again, just give you another chance to really work on your F chords, and we'll keep this one around for another week. We'll get rid of Aloha Oe, and let's go grab America the Beautiful. This will be your studying piece for the week. I don't have it in my book yet. Go grab it. I don't even know if I downloaded it yet. Hold on. America the Beautiful, baritone and ukulele. Have it on guitar. Let me go grab it. The Beautiful guitar. Share with Foursquare. Okay. Now, America the Beautiful is, it's kind of one of these patriotic songs, but not super, super patriotic. Those super, super patriotic ones drive me bananas, because it's like, you're supposed to carry this reverence in for them, and I don't think this song fits into that. This is just a nice song about America. So Warren doesn't have to throw up when he's working on this one. Kathy Lee Bates is the name of the woman who wrote this. There's two Kathy Lee Bates. The woman who wrote this in 1895 and the one who took the sledgehammer to Stephen King's foot in Misery. That's not the Kathy Lee Bates that we're talking about here. This song is one of the early songs in Book 3 where you get to actually, have a pretty decent chord palette. So you're going to take your G chord, start with that. Oh, beautiful 4, and then you switch to your D chord. Spacious skies 4, and then your A minor. We don't usually see that hanging around with a G, but it sometimes does. Amber waves of grain. Okay, and then again, for purple mountains and majesties. And then surprisingly, they go to E7 here. Above the fruited, and then A of all things, plains. And then you go to G chord, America, A minor, America, God shed His grace on me. And then you gotta get to that G7 and really work. works. Okay, in the tough acts I got to put there. If you're singing it, you got to somehow get it on there, and then switch to your C chord. Now that finally things are starting to make sense. And round thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. So you got a decent amount of chords in one song to really get your head around. So sometimes if there's any chords on here that you're not super comfy with, again, another song just to sing and strum. And again, you've heard me sing. You know how terrible it is. It doesn't matter if you're a bad singer. It really matters if you can at least in your head hear it. To get your practice getting your chords on quickly and in great shape. I don't know any other way to do that. Either come to guitar orchestra and play chords, which is the boring part of it, or hum songs inside of your head and sing along with them. You can also always play along with the MP3. I find with my chording, if I play those MP3s and I just play the chords, I'll find out exactly which chords I'm slow on and which ones are taking me too long to get on, and then I can work specifically on that particular motion, because it is surprising sometimes. Thanks, Warren. I think that sometimes we think we're better at chords than we probably are, and that's what the MP3 does. All right, let's play the melody. 1, 2, 3. Nice melody, right? It really works. And plenty to keep you busy thinking positionally. If I'm on a 5 and I have a 7 following it, I probably want to be in 5th position. All right, let's talk about the tough uke. We're not actually playing, right? Yeah, this is our studying song. Okay. American the Beautiful. G chord on there. Okay. Hit your 3. And a nice strum. Pull your ring finger off. Put it back. Switch to your D chord. Middle finger up. As you're switching to A minor. Pinky on 3. D7 open bottom. Hit the 2. Go over to your G chord. Decorative notes so you don't come in early. Hit the 3. G chord. Ring finger up. Ring finger back. D chord. Here's this famous stretch. Go grab the 5. And then I would use your ring finger here, because you're going to need your 5 again in a second. So I hit the 5, put that exact shape on we were talking about earlier. Index, middle, and then use your ring on the 4. Hit your pinky on 5, and then immediately push it forward and get 0, 7, 5, 7. It's not usually our high D7 looks like this. This is the opposite of that. So take your pinky, push it forward, and then put index and probably ring finger on to get the 7, 5, 7. Hear that weird sound? When you hear that, you know she has got to resolve it, because this is a super strange E7. And then you're going to hit that 5, and that's when your A chord comes in to save the day. Go hit the 3. 3 probably with your middle finger. And then you've got 7, 8, 7. Just think of it as a D chord on the 7th fret. Strum that. Hit the 7 again. Slide back to 5. Slide down to 3. And then A minor with the 3. Isn't that a pretty tune? That's actually an A minor 7. Hit the 2. D7. Up to the 3. A bar on 5. Pinky on 7. Another bar. Pinky on the other 7. That's hard right there. That's hard going there. You're really going to be working on getting your pinky to do your work there. And then finally that measure 12, go to your G. And look at how fun this is. And that a cool sound. Hit the 3. C chord, pinky on the top. Hit the 3. G chord, nice big one. A7 and 15. Ring finger on 3. D7. Slide up to 5. And then come back and get your G chord on. Okay, and then you would repeat. The second time you come through, of course. Also, be aware, just because it says you're supposed to play these top strings, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to, right? If they're already ringing, these guys ring for a long time. If they're already ringing, you don't necessarily have to go and smash them down again. So let your guitar tell you whether you need to hit those again or not. Real pretty piece. Plenty of hard work in there. Anytime you see a sophisticated chord palette, you know that the tough axe is also going to be a bit of an adventure. And so there you go. All right, so that's your song for the week. The two we'll keep are America the Beautiful and Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, be ready to play both of those next week. And then let me just go peek and see what would be the song that comes up after America, whatever that is. Next week we will dig into Andante in G by Carulli. You're going to love that. It's only 8 measures long, and they are the most adventurous 8 measures in the history of the world. You're like, oh my gosh, I like this song, except for 4 of the measures, so it'll be fun next week. Don't miss next week. We're going to throw a little Carulli at you. All right. That's your A songs. Aloha Oe, Amazing Grace, America the Beautiful. I guess Andante's another A song. And we'll play those up next week. The week after I will be out. So next week we will have our regular meeting, and then the week after I'm going to be away from the computer. I'm going to take a few days and just turn it off. And I will probably freak out, and I'll probably sneak in and do it anyway, but just so you're aware. All right, for those of you who are not doing the classical program, that's it for tonight. I will see you all next week, and good luck on Deo and America the Beautiful. Both of those songs are worth knowing how to play. And then classical musicians. Let's go take a look at Andantino by Matteo Carcassi. And I don't know if I pulled this up over into here, I think. Andantino, Opus 59, that's down here. There it is. There's going to be a ton of songs called Andantino or Andante, or Waltz. So when you put them in your notebook, I'm trying over here on the right hand side where the names of the guys are to be a little bit more detailed. On this one, obviously I failed. I meant to put Opus 59 over there, but so you might want to just make yourself a note on the top there, OP 59, so that you know you're playing the right Andantino. And it is in the name of the file that you download, so you'll find it there as well. But we'll get confused as to which Andantino we're playing. All right. Now, last week we went over this. This is a finger picking extravaganza, and if you can get a couple of motions right, this thing will just drop out of your guitar and it'll make you sound super legit. So let's grab your C chord. This is as close to finger style as they would have gotten in 1836. It's absolutely perfect for a finger style player. So they were just channeling what was going to happen in 2010 with YouTube. Grab your C chord. On this one, I would use thumb and ring, and let's go through the beginning. Just that pick up, index, then just lift up. Just forget all of your other strings. Grab the 2 3s. That's the hard part of the song. Right back to your C chord. Ring finger on 3. Your thumb goes up, and your index finger, or your either your ring or your middle finger, will drop to the first string. And just hold that one. Let everybody else go. Index, thumb and ring, thumb and middle. 3 on the top string. Probably your middle finger on the second string. C chord. Okay, let it ring, because that's a half note. That's way slower than the other ones. Then we'll repeat. Okay, we'll come back to that in just a second. Let's go take a look at measure 5. Okay, so measure 5 ends the same way, or begins the same way. Your index finger's already on that 1, so you don't move anything in your left hand. Just go grab probably ring in middle or index in middle. Yeah, probably index in middle. And then play those 1 zeros. Add your 3 on. Move your 1 down to the other one, and then grab your 3. I'm like, why does that sound so weird? 2 on and get rid of everybody else. 1 and 3. D7. I have been playing it 1 and 2, but you could also just grab a full D7. You'll be fine. And now your thumb goes up to the 4th string. And then grab your 3 and let go of everybody else. D7. 3 strings of the G chord. Okay, and then it's going to go, the ending of the song is the same as the beginning of the song, more or less. Okay, so let's play through it nice and slow and see how we do. 1, 2. Like the beginning, keep going. Threes. Okay, back to measure 6. Going measure 9. Then to 14. Isn't that fun? Great work on your claw, giving you a chance to have the melody be on the first string and the second string, kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit, and then your accompaniment notes either being in your in your index finger or your thumb, and your thumb doing, doing its thing on all the other strings, and you end up with a really, really pretty piece of music. And I've been trying to see how fast I can play this thing, and it's even more fun when you're really pressing the tempo. So get where you've made all of your fingering decisions and what's going to go where, and then see if you can't crank up the speed. I love this tune so much, and it was an introduction in Carcassi, who's, I think I mentioned last week, is sort of the grandfather of all classical guitar instructional stuff. This is in the introduction to his main book, Opus 59. So it was considered sort of a warm-up piece, but it's still a nice piece of music. So yeah, really pretty. This gets a star, absolutely. Put a star on it and just use it as your warm-up, right? Still love the Andantino, you bet, Nancy. So it's such a beautiful piece of work. All right, now for something completely different, let's look at today's new classical piece. It's called Waltz. It's by Zenamon. He wrote it in 1989. And anytime you see anything that's written in the 20th century, it's going to be like, ugh, it's not exactly as cool as stuff written in the 16th, 17th, and 18th century. 19th century too. We got about 400 years of good music, and then the 20th century rolls around, and then they gotta do crazy stuff. So this one, it's actually pretty straightforward to play it, and so let's talk about this 4. Put your pinky on that 4. Okay, now you see it's all half notes. That means let these notes ring, okay, and just make sure you keep in a 3 count. 4, 0, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. So I lift up my pinky, and all of a sudden I'm in trouble. Okay, anchor that pinky from the top. 4, 0, rest. 4, 2, 2, rest. 4, 3, rest. 4, 2, rest. 4, 0, rest. 4, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, rest. 4, 2, 2, 4, 3, rest. 4, 2, 2, 4, 0, 4, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 3, 1, 0, 0, 3, 1, 4, 4, sorry, 4, 0, 0, 0, 4, 4, 3, 1, 0, 0, 3, 1, 2. So it is an E minor, technically. Yeah, it's crazy. So the way to think of this is a horror movie, Waltz. Yeah, let's do it one more time just so you can get a sense of the overall hearing. Also, there's no chance of you having run across this song in your day-to-day life. So you want to go listen to it on the MP3, and you can't look it up on YouTube, really. I think if you type in Waltz Zenamon, it may come up. But anytime something's called Waltz, there's no way you're going to find it on YouTube without some additional digging. There are some guitar players who put up on theirs. Also notice, because I've got my pinky anchored on 4, for me, I'm fine and shoot. I'm going to play the other notes in second position, and it seems easier that way. Let's try it one more time. And again, I'm going to use the word rest, but that's not really what I mean. 4, oh, rest, 4, 2, rest. I'm just saying rest in my head. I got to come up with a better word there, but the thought is something, 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 right? So make sure you're just keeping that third beat in there, and then the song will just pop out of your guitar. From the top, your horror movie waltz. 1, 2, 3. Rest. Rest. Bum. 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 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I made a couple of, I missed it. I made a couple of bad notes in there, but you can hear what's going on, right? Is that it's ba bum 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 ba bum 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 bum, so that you're going to get 2 really weird notes. The note in measure 8, because it's a flatted note when it shouldn't be flatted, it's going to sound crazy discordant, right? And the same thing's going to happen when you go to measure 21. You've kind of gotten into a different feeling here. Ba-da bum bum ba-da wank boom boom boom. And it's going to sound real weird there. It's supposed to sound weird. He's meaning it to be discordant. And so when you hear those notes, double check you're fretting it correctly, but it is supposed to sound crazy. And so there's your terrifying waltz for this week. Probably play plenty of Carcassi and a little bit of Zenamon this week. And this is the kind of song where you use it, you study it, it's kind of interesting, sort of fun to play, and then when you're done with it, you're actually done with it. Brief advertisement here. I went ahead and did about 5 classical pieces coming up in our program. So if you're just in love with classical and you want to get ahead and you really want to do it, I put that over on the classical sheet music webpage, and a couple of you already have the secret password to get onto that page. If you want to go look at the rest of that, send me an email and I'll send you the password onto that page. And I'm not trying to keep it secret from anybody. I just it's not very well put together yet. And I wanted to get the entire first book tabbed out, and then I wanted to go through and make videos of everything for it. I'd open it up to just general use. And so if you are into the classical music stuff and you want to start looking ahead as to what's coming up next, and just send me an email and I'll send you the password. If not, we're going to do one song each week until we're dead, right? We need 430 some weeks to do the entire 9-book series. And so we'll, one song a week. By the end time, 430 weeks from now, you will be playing the highest level possible of classical music that you can get to. So hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are, and I hope things are going well for you guitar-wise. Patience is a virtue with this instrument. It's just one of those things, you just got to keep showing up. We started off, with a certain number, and then we had a drop, right? And those guys that don't keep showing up, they're not getting better at guitar, that's for sure. You guys that show up will continue just to work your way through it. You're never going to play as well as you want to, probably, but you're always going to be getting a little bit better. And so that's what I think is the most important thing, is just to continue to show up, try to sit down and practice for 5-10 minutes every single day, and just keep your mind in the game and know that this is a long journey, not a short sprint, and then you will be happier and happier with the types of music you're playing and the tones coming out of your guitar, even though you're never probably going to just be completely satisfied with everything. So that's our pep talk for the night. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. I will see all y'all next week. And remember, Tuesday nights is the guitar orchestra, and you might as well come and play melody with those guys, right? They need all the help they can get. and many of you are already doing that, so thanks for being there. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't. Vic, Linda, good for pink. Yeah, good for building pinkies, right? Holding that 4 on there. Yeah, right. And short classicals. Yeah, I love them too. Nancy, Linda, Vic, Lauren. Is that everybody that snuck in tonight? And anybody else that's online is with us as well. Thanks for being here. I will see all of y'all on next week. And Linda says she's loving the orchestra. That's exciting, right? That's exciting. The orchestra is really hard and demoralizing, I think. So the fact that you're loving it, that's exciting, Linda. She says, I can't go anywhere. COVID and wildfires and heat. Yeah, I know, right? America's living in a bit of a self-delusion bubble. I'm afraid we're all going to be back locked down. Well, I don't know if they're lock us down officially, but we're all supposed to go back to masking now. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, and then these wildfires out here in the West have been really a bummer. 3rd year in a row where it's just really, really bad. So I don't know. This just may be our lifestyle starting now. All right, guys. Peace.